If you look right down here, you can see these two probes. They're thin metal rods that he puts in the into the bullet tracks of the secondary wounds, and then that's what they use to triangulate. And that's how you find where something is located. You look at the directions of all three and see where they converge, and that's how they were able to determine where this person was standing who shot him. More. He went back to the scene twice because he couldn't figure out why the autopsy didn't converge with the story he was given. Okay, we're just about here. Okay, we finally made it. We finally found it. All right, here's the autopsy report and supplemental report of JFK's autopsy. Now, the first page here, it starts with date and hour autopsy performed, prosecutor himself, Boswell and Fink, clinical diagnoses, including operations, pathologic cause of death, gunshot wound head, approved signature Humes, military organization, President of the United States. I don't know if the President is military. He's a civilian. Age 46, he's got all that. But that doesn't look anything like Dr. Noguchi's first page, obviously. Then we come to the clinical summary, but this clinical summary really could be a newspaper article describing the scene in Dallas, Parkland resuscitation efforts, and then it ends and they brought the body to Washington, but he didn't say that they took it at gunpoint.
That's JFK.
Oh yeah, JFK, yeah. So, at any rate, goes on here. Okay, here's the second page. And general description of the body. And then he has describes some of the tissues, missile wounds, very superficial description. And then we come to the next page, describes the thoracic cavity, the lungs, abdominal cavity, skeletal system and photography, and x-rays. And then this is the end summary, which is the end. And then it comes here, and he has a few slides, a microscopic examination of brain, heart, lungs, liver, spleen, and kidneys, skin wounds, and final summary. But I want to point out two things. In the skeletal system on the previous page, he said there were no abnormalities. Now, I know that JFK had a bad back injury in World War II, so there was something on his back, something to do with his back. He didn't also mention any of the surgical procedures prior to the autopsy, which Dr. Noguchi did mention in his autopsy. There were a couple of them. And then he comes to the kidneys. Sections show no significant abnormalities aside from engorgement of blood vessels of all calibers. Now, we know that JFK had Addison's disease, which is controlled by the adrenal glands. He had atrophied adrenal glands. Adrenal glands sit on the top of the kidney, like a little cat. But he doesn't say anything about them. In the RFK autopsy, Dr. Noguchi mentioned and gave descriptions and slides of a cyst, and he had an adenoma of his adrenal gland. The adenoma is mostly, and the adrenal gland are mostly benign. This is another major finding here where there's just absent information. and that's it. You know how the old cartoons, that's all, folks, with Bugs Bunny? That's it. But there ain't no there. And what I also wanted to mention was, see, I think I've got a picture here of him. This is when he was young, when he went in the Navy. Where is it? Let me find it. I had it up. Let me put all this down. Is it? Have technical problems, but I do have a picture of Paul O'Connor, and I want to tell you about what Paul told me. And I can't find it right now. It was a picture of him when he went in the Navy. But I knew him from the early 90s, probably about 92 or 3, until he passed away in 2006. Paul has been interviewed by the Gainesville Sun several times, and I have those articles in a PDF, which I can't get to right now, but if anybody would like them, if you just write your name and email address down over on the table there, I'll have something for you to write it on, and I'll send you both this autopsy article and the articles in the Gainesville Sun from Paul. But there was one in February of '81, and I'm not sure why they interviewed him on that day. It was the middle of February in '81. Then, of course, it was 20 years. They interviewed him again. They interviewed him in '93. He gave a speech at the Santa Fe Community College that had huge attendance. I don't know whether it was filmed, and that's what I have to find out from the college. And he had X-rays, X-ray pictures that I haven't seen anywhere else. Where those are now, I'm not certain, but those exist. And Paul was just an outstanding person. He told me that he would get phone calls all the time. He would never talk to anybody unless he knew them. There is a video online that you can see of his testimony at this mock trial that was done by Jerry Spence and Bugliosi, and I guess that was over in London. But he said the same thing there in that, and it's on the website of, or blog rather, of a David Von Peen, who said some nasty things about Paul in his review of this video of his testimony. He said he was a nutcase. Paul was not a nutcase. Paul was an upstanding person and a solid person, and he told the same thing every time. Huge hole, he was in a body bag in a shipping casket, huge hole in the back of his head. You could put both hands in the wound. There was no brain except for a handful of brain tissue. Last month in New Orleans, Jim Jenkins said that Humes' first statement when they started with the skull was Hume said this: the brain fell out in my hand. That's what Paul said. There was enough brain tissue to fill up the palm of your hand, and that was about it. So we know that there were these fracture lines all over the skull. Where they came from, nobody knows, but Jim Jenkins said last year, and Paul said this too, if you pulled his hair back, everything came open, and that's where this huge hole was. And normally when you do an autopsy, you do a skull cap and remove the brain. Well, they didn't have to do one. Well, that was another thing that he always said. They didn't have to do a skull cap, first of all, because there was no brain, but they didn't need to do it because they could have gotten the brain out from through this hole. So this is prima facie evidence of a conspiracy. This is fake autopsy. I don't believe anything in it. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, William H. Warwick III.
He has one quick question.
Please say no. Sorry.
Okay, all right, you can do it over there.
It's going to be taking just a couple minutes. We're going to bring up our next speaker, get him prepared. Will be Shane O'Sullivan. Sorry, but
That's okay.
way behind.
That's okay. I know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Allison Mine.
I know this name.
Co-started
Yeah, those are the heydays.
oh, I know.
Think so.
Yeah, yeah. I'll email you. I'd love to see a copy of that report. Okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the laptop.
No. I meant to play the club and stuff like that. Oh, it's a great place for a show. It's not Jerry Lewis. Yeah.
This is a PC, it's not a...
Oh, it's okay. This is formatted for both, so it should be fine.
I have to plug into the
Yeah, I mean,
HDMI.
Okay.
It's not great, but yes, you can use it.
Thank you.
It's somewhat of a cranky computer.
Oh, sure. Come on up.
No, I didn't bring one from England, so it's.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a quick announcement from Dennis David.
I just want to know that Paul O'Connor was a very good friend of mine. We both were in NAM. I came back, no problem. Came back. Paul came back. He had a little argument with a mortar and came out second best. And that's why he kind of became a little an alcoholic in his later years, because he was always in pain and hurt. And he was still carrying shrapnel in both his legs and the small of his back. So, but he was very sure, and he was trying to bring out what happened at that morgue on the 22nd of November. And when he died, I lost a very good friend. One little side note. Paul told me one time that during the autopsy of JFK, he said the surgeons and the people in the audience seemed more interested
Oh, it's on this side.
on the adrenaline
I'm a
rush
lefty, so I have to have...
because of the Addison's disease. They were more interested in and by the way, Paul told me that those glands had shriveled to nothing.
You want to use my...
They were non-existent, completely dried up. So I just want, I don't know that it means anything to this, but at least you know about Paul a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. While we're waiting to bring up the computer for the presentation, I'm going to make an announcement. There's going to be a debate between Roger Stone and Gerald
I
Posner.
don't think it should.
Come on, we can boo louder and harder than that. Boo! And we know who we're booing for, right? It's going to be, we'll be able to watch it live on stonecoldtruth.com. One more time, stonecoldtruth.com. It's going to be on Tuesday, November 22nd at 7 p.m. Looks like it's going to be held live at Books and Books at 265 Aragon Avenue in Coral Gables, Florida. We'll be able to watch it live on the internet, stonecoldtruth.com, 7 p.m., November 22nd.
Which time zone, 7 p.m.?
That's a good question. It's not on the thing. I would imagine it's being held in Florida.
Oh, it's in
probably.
Florida. Yeah, it's Eastern.
Florida's east.
Probably Eastern.
Okay, thank you.
There are flyers up here if anybody would care to have them, just as a reminder. Or a keepsake. Yeah, we don't pass them out.
Okay, where is it? See if you got flyers. You have to right.
Gail's got to be ready.
Go back to the. Oh, it's still installing the software, so it's going to take.
Well, let me give a recap for the dinner last night. I know some of you were able to make it, some of you were
I'll
not.
send-
It was
yeah, it's
absolutely
installing
an
the software,
amazing
the
dinner
preview.
at the speakers dinner.
needs software.
We were able to give an award
Well,
to
no,
James,
no, it's the software of-
Jim Mars for his
seen
accomplishments.
your device
We'd given an award for Abraham
All of them
Bolden
have to-
for his accomplishments. We had several speakers who were speaking. Andrew Craig from Kappa. We had Sean Stone speak to us. It was an amazing dinner.
Tell us when
Good
it's
camaraderie. It was a good opportunity. So if you come to these things in the future, if it's possible, I encourage you to engage in it. You know, for my purposes, I love what's up here, but I really love what's down there, interacting with you, hearing from the speakers. I encourage you to do it. I think that's some of the best parts of conference. At least it is for me. Looks like we're just about ready to go.
I'm just going to copy this. That's up.
Yeah, right. It's got a copy of it. It's still going.
What's your movie? How do I full screen? I just take this.
Yeah, there you
All right, thank you very much.
go. Okay.
Ready to roll?
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Let me get my stuff here.
And Bobby.
Who killed Bobby?